In this help video, we're going to walk you through setting up your users or even managing your users for your LMN account. Not much need for a long introduction here. Let's just dive right into the screen. I think you'll see what we mean. To get to your users in LMN, you're going to want to go to your account menu, and then the second option here is going to be set up users. So we're going to click that. Now this is going to be a list of the users that have access to your LMN account. So when you get started with LMN, you'll just have one user in here, and that's yourself. So you're going to want to start adding people from your company you want to give access to. Now you don't have to give your users access to everything in LMN. You can limit their access so they can see some things and not other things. And that's what we're going to spend most of our time looking at here as we set up a user. So I'll probably open an existing user just to show you what one looks like when you're getting it set up. But to add a new user, you go up here to the top right-hand corner and you click Add New. And then you can put in some basic information. Their username, first name, last name, phone number, email, and then, and this is really important, go to the Security tab and pick what access they have in the company. So for example, maybe I don't want them to see the budget, but I do want them to estimate. So I can do that as well. Over here, I'll give you a brief text description of what they mean. Sometimes you'll see two different levels of access, default and company admin. Default means they can only see their own estimates. Company admin means we could see all people's estimates. Other things like invoicing has their own as well. Maybe a user only has access to look at an invoice, or maybe they have full access to generate, edit, and approve invoices. It's up to you to give users the appropriate access. Once you're done filling this all out for a user, click OK, and the user will be added. Now, the only thing you'll have to make sure on this screen is that the user has a unique username. So across all of LMN, usernames can only be assigned to one user. So when you're entering a username, if this shows up with an exclamation mark there, it means that username has already been taken by somebody else. So you'll have to tweak that username until you find something that's unique. The other thing that's important is the email. If a user ever loses their password, we can use this email to send them a link to reset their password to something else. So it's important that the email is accurate. Again, though, an email must be formatted correctly. And if you have an exclamation mark here, it'll notice that the email is not correct or already in use, and it won't let you set that up. So you simply need to have a unique and correctly formatted email. And that's really the only tricks to setting up a user. So an existing user might look something like this. Username, first name, last name, and phone number. There's their email address. And in this case, the status is active. If Mike ever left our company, I could change his status to inactive, and his user account would be immediately disabled. So even though he's still set up in the system, he would not be able to log into LMN. That's important, especially if you let go of somebody or they leave and you're not quite on the best of terms. By setting them to inactive, you immediately lock down their access to your LMN account. Now under the security menu, here's where I'm going to set up Mike's security access privileges. So I can grant him or restrict him access from all these areas of the application by setting these settings correctly. Now, if Mike ever forgets his password and you don't want to email us to get it reset, we can simply reset it from here. So I could go in here and reset his password manually. Passwords must be at least 4 characters, as some passwords can be just a simple PIN number like we often do with Foreman. Makes it easier to add in on a mobile device. Now I can also use the Reassign menu to do some pretty advanced stuff. Take a look. Let's say, for example, John Doe's been with our company for years, and John's built a whole bunch of estimates and a whole bunch of budgets. But now John's leaving us. One thing I can do is reassign John's budgets or his estimates to somebody else in the company. So for example, let's say I hired Brian to take over all of John's stuff. Well, first I could go to all John's estimates. I hit select them all and then say I'm going to assign these instead to, and we'll do them to Rod. Now I hit reassign, and immediately what will happen is all these estimates that are currently assigned to this user are going to get reassigned to Rod Langway. So he'll be the owner of all these. Makes it easy to transfer information or accountability from one person to another in the case that the original person left. Now, you also have to check budgets and service estimates, but once you transfer those 3 things, now you've more or less handed over all that information to the new person. Finally, training. And if you haven't seen our online training, it's about 70 health and safety and productivity related courses designed for employees of landscape contractors. It's run through a learning management system, so all your safety courses are documented and scored for compliance tracking, and there is an extra fee per user per month. If you want to activate online training for a user, simply go to Training and click Activate. You'll be asked to fill out a form describing the user role and positions, and then it'll start to intelligently assign training to that user. If you have any questions in regards to setting up your users, reach out. Live chat, golmn.com/help, or advice@golmn.com. We'll get back to you as quick as possible with an answer. Thank you.